against perennial national problem. And yet we are here. The same communities are flooded. The same families are displaced. The same drains are overwhelmed. The formation of the task force was widely publicized. Its results, however, Mr. Speaker, have been conspicuously silent. Ghanaians funded this task force through their taxes. They were promised to make a difference. And I believe that they are owed a transparent account of what it actually did.
I've read about the special task force that was set up by the president. I'm not sure that this is a problem that can be solved within the 1 year that I think the task force has been in existence. A lot of studies are required, a lot of fundraising is required, and I believe that they will ultimately achieve some success, but we need to give them time.
Speaker, you can check from the Ministry of Works and Housing. You will find that year to year, you probably won't find more than 25% of the budget that has been allocated for the program, the flood control program, being released. And it's a reason for which you will see it on paper that we are planning to desilt here or build some stronger drainage systems here, and it doesn't happen. So, Mr. Speaker, if we are really serious that we want to go beyond paying lip service to the question of floods, want to go beyond expressing condolences and walking in water, we should put our money where our best ideas are.
The regular desilting that should be happening is not happening. And there are times of the year when you can see cattle actually walking in the Odo, which means that's the level that the solid waste and silt has gone up to. It cannot be a once in a few years that such channels are desilted. It has to be something that's part of the regular maintenance.
Mr. Speaker, I further urge the relevant parliamentary committees, particularly the Works and Housing Committee and the Local Government Committee, to invite the metropolitan and municipal chief executives of the most affected communities to present their local flood prevention strategies, preparedness plans, and specific interventions being implemented to protect vulnerable residents.
And now away from Parliament, Vice President Professor Nana Jino Pokwajibon has described health workers as the backbone of a resilient health system, stressing that no country can achieve universal health coverage without investing in the people who deliver care. While acknowledging the persistent challenges in the field, she, however, noted that government is pursuing measures to strengthen health financing, build local capacity, and improve workforce development.
As Ghana advances its free primary healthcare agenda and works towards universal health coverage, stakeholders say the conversation must move beyond buildings and equipment to the welfare of the people who care for the nation's health every day. In many parts of Ghana, the quality of healthcare often depends not only on medicine and equipment, but on whether there are enough motivated health workers. That reality dominated discussions at the 2026 Annual Health Summit, where policymakers, health professionals, and development partners examined the future of Ghana's health workforce amid growing demand for healthcare services. The vice presidents called for stronger collaboration among ministries, agencies, and stakeholders, arguing that health workers are more likely to remain in deprived areas when they have access to decent housing, quality schools, reliable utilities, and other essential social amenities.
With many underserved communities still facing shortages. As we advance towards universal health coverage, it is essential that we address these gaps and align planning with the evolving health needs of our population. We must move beyond sectoral silos and embrace a more integrated approach to development so that a rural posting, for example, is not regarded primarily as hardship.
While government outlined its plans, Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando warned that poor attitudes, disrespect towards patients, and conduct that undermines professional standards could erode public confidence in the health system and reverse gains made over the years.
If we are serious about workforce resilience, we can build hospitals, we can buy equipment, We can digitize our system. We can recruit thousands more health workers. But if attitudes do not change, if professionalism is compromised, and if patients are not treated with dignity, respect, and compassion, we will not achieve the outcomes our people deserve.
Health professionals attending the summit welcomed efforts to strengthen the sector, but insisted that workforce concerns must be addressed more urgently. Beatrice Soa, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the morning news here on TV3, the first bulletin of the day right here on TV3. And now the minority has accused government of prioritizing the 24-hour market at the expense of some major health projects currently stalled in the Ashanti region. And on a visit to the Afari Military Hospital to assess the progress of work, ranking member on Parliament's Health Committee, Dr. Ayu Efriye, had an altercation with the military detachment in an attempt to access the project site.
$180 million project left in ruins. This is the story of the Afari Military Hospital, which was initiated in 2008 with groundwork commencing in 2014. Several structures erected with some installed gadgets now sit in the bush. The minority visit was to force the current administration complete the project. While touring the facility, Dr. Ayu clashed with the military detachment.
Did you see us stopping them? We are doing it for Ghana, not us. Officer, why is he doing this? Yeah, for you. So there is no question.
Eventually, the minority caucus left the scene and headed to the Agenda 111 project site at Trede in the Achema Kwauma district. Here, some logistics acquired by the state to run the facility remain stuck in storerooms.
Can something be done about this? You setting up your own projects, we agree. But politicization of healthcare makes no sense. You understand? You want to set up 24-hour economy markets, about 261 of them. And you said that one is not ambitious. That one you are doing it. And somebody is setting up Agenda 111, you said that is ambitious.
The story of Sewia perhaps provides interesting memories.
Look at this particular plaque. It says on January 4, 2025, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo commissioned this particular project. Was this project ready for use before it was commissioned?
Yeah, it was ready for use. You cannot say we need everything before we start operating.
The current administration has assured the completion of the projects in a statement issued by the sector minister about 3 days ago.
Well, we'd love to hear from you and let's know what you make of Ghana's health sector. We're active on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Hopefully, read your comments and share them to the rest of the world. As concerns grow over the erosion of African values and cultural identity, the government has unveiled a new national platform to honor individuals and institutions preserving the continent's heritage, spirituality, and wellness traditions. And the initiative, known as the Sacred Crown, is expected to spotlight Africa's cultural custodians and promote unity, healing, and pride in indigenous values.
The rich sounds of African culture and tradition set the stage for the launch of the Maiden Sacred Crown Awards in Accra. The initiative, launched under the patronage of the Gamanche and President of the Ghana Traditional Council, King Taki Tekochru II, seeks to celebrate and preserve Africa's cultural identity, spirituality, and wellness practices. Unveiling the official logo for the 2026 edition, the Gamanche said, Africa possesses priceless treasures that continue to shape societies across the continent and beyond.
It was Sacred Crown Awards. Nke Ghana he wale fe in piano ne. Ija keshi. Sana lebo. Sana yosebu. Ija keshi ofe koke hamang. The onuchumo isoman fe here. It was Sana yosebu. Sana lebo. Sana mam ononomi. Isani akiribo.
Later, Queen Mother of Lante Janwe, Nalamle Ajaku Dromo II delivered an official speech on behalf of the Gamanche, urging for the continent's traditions, indigenous knowledge systems, spiritual values, royal institutions, festivals, music and dance remain powerful symbols of identity that must be protected for future generations.
As Gamanche and President of the Ghana Traditional Council, I believe strongly that our traditional institutions must continue to play a healing role in national development. Chieftaincy is not only about the stool, the crown, or the palace. It is about preserving the dignity of the people. The crown carries responsibility.
She also emphasized that preserving these cultural assets is not only a responsibility to the present generation, but also a duty owed to Africa's ancestors and future descendants, explaining that the Sacred Crown Awards is anchored on 3 core pillars: African heritage, spirituality, and wellness. Held under the theme, Celebrating African Heritage, Spirituality and Wellness, organizers say the Sacred Crown Awards will serve as a national platform for promoting cultural dignity, healing, and unity, while honoring the custodians of Africa's enduring legacy. It was graced by the National Chief Imam, Dr. Sheikh Osman Nun Shaributu, traditional authorities, persons from the academia, and patrons from the Ghana State.
And our Deputy Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah, says renewable energy in powering Ghana's 24-hour economy is critical, urging students to develop innovative solutions that can help bridge the country's energy access gap. He was speaking at the launch of the 7th edition of the Energy Commission Senior High School's Renewable Energy Challenge.
The Energy Commission of Ghana launched the 7th edition of the Senior High School's Renewable Energy Challenge 2026, featuring a champions category. The 2026 theme is harnessing renewable energy to power Ghana's 24-hour green economy, with 17 schools competing in this elite category, focusing on practical and sustainable energy solutions. The goal is to foster innovation in renewable energy and promote the practical application of STEM in senior high schools. The schools include Ebenezer Senior High School, Forces Senior High School, Yasantua Girls Senior High School, Navrongo Senior High School, Infantiman Girls Senior High School, and Kranza Technical Institute, Sugakope Senior High School, among others. The board chairman of the commission, Professor John Gachi, is grateful for vision and hard work in developing such an impactful program.
We are working on many legs. One, we want the student to be proud to contribute to national innovation and solution in the renewable sector. We also want students to actually develop the skill of practicalizing some of the theories and the things that they see in their textbook to align to industry, especially renewable energy sector.
Deputy Minister of Energy and Green Transition Richard Jan Mensah said renewable energy is key to empowering the 24-hour economy.
We believe that looking at even the grid extensions in those places, they're very expensive. But we can also look at the new technology that is the renewable energy. Either using the solar, we have the mini grid or grid. And these are things that, energy sources that we can actually tap into to make sure that our people, wherever they are, also have adequate power.
Professor Smile Gavwa, GC Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service, believe the competition will be impactful.
We are partnering with development partners so that it can be very useful to Ghana. So we are excited that we are going to have the champion of champions competition once again. We are looking forward to getting a lot of practical ideas and the concept that will help solve Ghana's numerous problems.
Just so you know, the 2026 World Cup begins today, and the first game is between Mexico and South Africa at 8 p.m. Ghana's match is June 17. So everything World Cup, the right place to be is TV3. My name is Josh Quinn. For more news updates, just log on to our website, s3news.com. In a world where you can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. Good morning.
We don't care if I Show Speed has done somewhere. We don't care if, we have another one all over the world. But regardless of that, we're sure that Dope Nation song is going to dominate at the World Cup. It will be interesting to see the players score and dance to, Kakalika. But let's see how it goes. Maybe our next jersey, we should do Kakalika on it. Should draw, the insects. I don't even know what we'll be portraying with that. But yeah, good morning and you're welcome to another exciting edition of TV3 Newday. And yes, we're happy. You can see that I'm repping my Ghana jersey. And well, this is not the official jersey that we're using. In fact, our official jersey has been voted the most beautiful jersey across the world for the FIFA World Cup. So yes, clack it. Anyway, so we're looking forward to the opening ceremony later today. And yesterday, Media General and the sports team launched our sports coverage here on TV3, on Onya TV, and on 3FM 92.7. And so we're going to be keeping you glued to our screens. Remember how we did it for the elections 2024? That's exactly what we're doing for the FIFA World Cup as well with the sports team. And we've assembled the best of the best. I mean, talk of our in-house journalists, plus international journalists, people who know their stuff in the football world, will all be joining from across the world via Zoom in the studio, and they'll be having very in-depth conversations about the FIFA World Cup. Hopefully, our boys also will perform incredibly well. Me, I predicted semi-finals at this point. I feel like, they always say in Ghana, fa no bule no shabo. So, is that the underdogs that you don't regard, they just might give you that shock of the day. And so let's see how the boys perform. I'm sure you're rolling your eyes and you're saying, we're not sure if that's going to happen, but you'll never know. It could be a year. If everything is going wrong, at least football, let's get it right. Let's get it right. So all the best to our boys. Our first game is on the 17th. We're playing Panama. And we're praying that it will go well. I mean, our sports minister went to get some special prayers, and he said that just because he went to Philadelphia, we're playing in Philadelphia as well, we're definitely going to win the game. And so fingers crossed, let's see how it goes. From afternoon, we're going to start our coverage on TV3, and so keep watching. We'll keep you updated. We have our team on the ground. We have men who have traveled all the way to the US, to Mexico, and to Canada, and they'll also be joining us to give us all the updates on ground. So all-round coverage, not just from Ghana, but from across the world. But it's good to have you join us this morning. I hope you're well. It rained heavily last night, wherever you are. I hope you're safe. I hope your properties are safe as well. We pray there won't be any more disasters. We hope there won't be any more floods that will destroy people's homes, properties, or take lives in Jesus' name. Amen. We have a packed show this morning, but as we're also gearing up for the Black Stars, there's also some disturbing news that has come from the Savannah region. Last night, we were told that there was another incident of baby theft, and so the police have arrested 2 midwives over a missing baby, and allegedly they are connected to the incident of the stolen baby at the Salaga Municipal Hospital. We're told that it took place yesterday, and we spoke to DSP Gabriel Alose yesterday to confirm the incident. He said the 2 suspects will be arraigned on June 11 before the courts. He says, we have arrested 2 midwives, 1 male and 1 female. We're keeping them because they're giving conflicting accounts. They are suspects. We'll take them to court in the morning, which is today. And so we'll be crossing over to Christopher Amoako so he can give us the latest on that particular incident. I don't even understand why anybody wants to steal a baby. I know that it's, there's a cartel for it, and they steal babies and, sell them to other people who may want children. I've watched some movies where it can be quite scary. But if you're a health worker, I think that first and foremost, your job is to save lives and to protect the lives of the people who come to you for health care. So we pray that they are not involved. We're not indicating that they are guilty in any way, because they are now going before the courts that will prove if they are guilty or not. But just admonishing all our health workers and also parents as well. Keep an eye, on your family members, on your children, whatever it is, just keep an eye on them. But we'll cross over to Christopher Mwako later so he can give us the update on that. Beyond that, there have also been some concerns over the last couple of weeks about abandoned projects all across the country. Hospitals are in focus. In fact, yesterday, the minority on the Health Committee in Parliament decided to visit the Afari Military Hospital in the Ashanti region. And their message was simple. They wanted to inspect the place and throw more light on the reason why it has been abandoned over the years. And so as far as they're concerned, government is rather injecting money into other projects and ignoring these projects that need to be operationalized as soon as possible. Now, the military later came there and confronted them for attempting to visit the site without any proper clearance, because we're told that it's a military hospital, so it is a military zone. And before you are allowed to go and inspect that facility, you need clearance from the Defense Ministry. They unfortunately were not able to get clearance, and that resulted in an altercation between the Health Committee members and the military. Of course, one was indicating that he's Ghanaian and he needs to inspect and make sure that whatever it is that's being built for Ghanaians is being used properly. But the military said they got it wrong, and ideally, they should have sought clearance before coming. We saw a young military officer who was shedding tears. She was wailing because, I mean, she said she had been threatened that she might lose her job just by allowing them into the facility without clearance. We'll be talking about that extensively as well on the big issues. We have a member from the Health Committee in Parliament joining us. We have some legal professionals. And of course, we have some reps from the various parties who join us to have an in-depth conversation, not only about the Afari Military Hospital, which, by the way, was signed, had its contract signed way back in 2008. That was, just when former President Kufuor was going out of power. And so between 2008 and now, it beats our imagination why we've not been able to complete it. We've gotten various government officials indicates that it's at various levels of completion. Some 97%, some 95%, 90%, and it was just left with about $18 million to complete it. That's what we're hearing from the former defense minister. And so you're wondering why we could not find that money to pay the contractor so we can complete this project. And now there's a lot of pressure mounting on the current government as well, who've been in power over the last 17 to 18 months. And the question is, why are they also delaying in operationalizing this project? And so we'll talk about that extensively on the big issue as well. Beatrice is here, by the way. Good morning.
Good morning.
You look very beautiful in yellow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're very
patriotic.
Yes. Very patriotic citizens.
Yes.
And we're all going out for the Black Stars. Yes, the team is not playing today. But
no. But we started early. We started early, yeah.
Yeah. I think today is Mexico and South
Africa. We're all Mexicans.
Of course.
I'm sorry, S.A.
I'm happy I didn't even have to ask you.
Oh, were you going to ask me? No, after what they did to us, we are all Mexicans. Did you see that funny video where the gentleman said, now every African is Mexican? He was giving himself a name, Wow Palo or whatever.
And yesterday, one of the things that popped up was Maleme's comment on Facebook, that long thing about why FIFA has failed because, the referee from Somali has not been allowed entry into US.
Yeah.
All of that, and the kind of comments that were under the post was just, were just quite interesting. So yes, it's an interesting day. Yesterday, I was talking to Mutala Yakubu, and I said that all of us were anticipating the beginning of the World Cup, and here we are. For me, it's come very quickly, but we're all Mexicans today, like you said.
Absolutely. I mean, for that Somalian referee who was denied entry into the U.S., now we're hearing that Canada says they're ready to receive him.
Yes, I saw
and
that
so
last night.
FIFA needs to reassign him to matches in Canada. I'm sure Mexico might also give him the chance to go in as well. So let's see how that goes. Kudos to him. But the FIFA president has been speaking on this matter. He said that it's actually unfortunate what happened to Omar. But again, we don't control everything. We try, we discuss, we see. Maybe it's good to just chill and relax.
But this time,
when he said chill and relax, I didn't understand.
And they said they were not going to intervene. Because, Somalia is one of the countries that
on the
has
red
been
list,
banned.
yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And when I saw that they were not going to intervene, I was quite disappointed. But hey, it's good that, like I saw last night and you were just saying, the guy has been given access to Canada. He can go there.
I don't even. So is America saying that they are not allowing any Somalian into the country at all?
Your country has been
banned. No, but this is a professional. I don't think that if he wasn't a professional to that level, FIFA would have assigned him.
Yeah.
And did FIFA not know? I mean, the officials, did they not know
already,
that there was a red list for Somalians? And so what do they do exactly for this one in particular? Why allow him fly all the way, get there, get questioned for about 11 to 14 hours?
I think it was in
and
Miami,
then get put back, on a flight. I mean, why put him through that stress and embarrassment? So are they saying no FIFA officials were there to confirm that he actually is a professional and they should just allow him to do his job?
At least we know that it's happening in the US, Mexico, and then Canada. So if he doesn't get entry into US, he can do Canada and Mexico. And let's see what happens. Maybe something could change. Yeah, but this one I was just thinking, so many Black Star songs that have already come up. I don't know which one is your favorite, but as I was going to bed last night, I just had "Come On Black Stars," God, I was just playing in my mind over and again.
Man, get with the times. We are doing. How many years ago?
That's like very old. I know,
but that's still your favorite, right?
Yeah, I've seen the I Show Speed one. I've seen the other ones that have come up.
Kakalika is our unofficial official World Cup song as well. So maybe you should think
we
of
played one of them this
leaning
morning.
more.
I think
so Grace Ashley has a new one as well that we played earlier. For me, I think my favorite will always be Waka Waka.
Okay.
No matter what, Zamina, Waka Waka.
That one
For
came
some
before
reason,
Come On Black Stars Ghana.
I don't remember, but I know that Shakira had that. I think that was her first song that she recorded for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And that will always be my favorite. I think it's a beautiful song.
I
mean, her latest one is Die Die.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll play it. Oh, this one with Kanan as well. This was South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this was when we were playing in South Africa. That was nice too.
Yeah.
And it was after that time that they banned Vuvuzelas.
Oh, Charlie.
They made too much noise in the stadium. I like this song too, but my all-time favorite will be Waka Waka.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason, that song just speaks to my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to the Die Die one.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You know that
but I'm sure they'll keep playing it so much.
Exactly. There are some songs you may not necessarily like immediately when it is played, but as you listen to over and again, you just...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're getting into our this morning conversation at this point. We'll be speaking to Christopher Mwaku, who joined us via Zoom. Like we mentioned last night, we're told that a baby was stolen from the Salaga Municipal Hospital. And 2 midwives have been arrested. They'll be arraigned before the court of law today to answer questions because they were giving conflicting reports as to how they lost the baby. And so we'll get into that conversation for this morning. In fact, shortly. Take a look.
And you're still here on New Day on TV3. Welcome to the This Morning segment. And like we were telling you earlier, we're talking about the baby who was stolen. And already we've had security officers coming in and ensuring that the right thing is done. My colleague, Christopher Amwako, who's been following this story coming from Salaga, is joining us by video call right now. I understand that he is even with a police officer who'll be giving us a bit more detail into this. Christopher, if you can hear me, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, so tell us, we just heard last night that a baby had been stolen. Tell us when this happened, how it all unfolded, and really what security officials are saying about this.
Yes, so reports indicate that the woman was brought to the Salaga Government Hospital to deliver, and yesterday around between 6:30 and 7 a.m. the woman delivered safely, but unfortunately after delivery the baby was later reportedly stolen. Now what we are gathering from both the hospital and the police is that two of the nurses who were on duty, in fact, one is a midwife, of course, they left the baby and someone reportedly went into the hospital to pick the baby. And the matter was reported to the police by the family, and police has since commenced investigations into the matter. Yesterday, when we engaged the Salaga District Police Commander, he indicated to us that two suspects, that is the nurse, the midwife, and the other physician assistant or so who was at the hospital on duty as at that time, were arrested. We want to find out from him what the update is this morning. So I have with me the Salaga District Police Commander, who is here with me. Commander, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, so Commander, yesterday you made some arrest of two suspects in connection to the alleged stolen baby case at the Salaga Government Hospital. Yes, bring us to speak on this particular arrest that you made. Where are the suspects at this?
Authority like I'm talking to you now, they are on the way to court. You don't tell Salaga, you know what I think.
Christopher, if you can hear me, I'm sorry, we can't hear the commander very well. I think it's if we can fix that, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, currently they are on their way, the suspects are on their way to Tamale Court. We are able to process them during the night to avoid any disturbances or disruption. So they are on the way to Tamale Court currently, the two suspects.
So bring us to speed what your investigation so far has led to this arrest, and what have you gathered after the arrest?
Well, those two people who have been arrested, they are on duty. If they're in charge of the children. There are 5 children, and one got missing. So that's why I picked them up. Okay. They are the prime suspects, the two of them. Both of them are on duty at the same time.
What have they been telling you since yesterday?
Oh, the first prime suspect, that is Frank. They gave us information that he was going to do some photocopy, which is not normal. And the other lady, the second suspect, also she was going to feed the child, which, excuse me, are not.
Has hospital authorities spoken to you about this matter? Have you engaged them? What have they also been telling you?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, when I went there, the authorities were not there. They are told to come and go. So I met the one lady who gave us all the information, especially the security. There was no CCTV camera to trace the footage of the suspect.
Have you had any leads to probably someone also connected to this matter, and what have you been doing about it?
Oh, currently no, but we had the information there was a Nigerian lady. She also delivered at the same premises. But unfortunately, she was not there, so we traced up to the house. We found out there's nothing like that. That was it.
Yes, we know that when some of these incidents happen, there is pressure from the traditional authorities, the politicians, for you to release the suspects. Have you encountered that since yesterday?
A lot. So the whole night I couldn't sleep. So we work overnight and then we process them. This morning around 4 o'clock, I departed them to court. Even I'm trying to follow up as I'm talking to you. To avoid anything, because you know, in the night, the chiefs, the politicians, they started calling me. And, you know, I don't want to substitute myself to them.
Okay, so that is the Salaga District Police Commander who has just told us about how far he's gone with the case. I also have some members or some family members here with me, and I will want to engage them to find out since yesterday when the incident happened and the fact that the suspects have been taken to Tamale to court because the Salaga district has no magistrate, and so they've been taken to Tamale. Now,
Christopher, I'm sorry, Chris, before you speak to the family member, are you able to tell us anything about the woman who stole the baby? Are there any leads leading to her and the possibility of getting the baby back? Do we have any information on that?
So there is no report that a woman stole the baby. What the police commander actually said is that when they got to the hospital, they heard that there was another woman who also delivered. And so they went to the woman's house to search the house to ensure that, because the woman was one of the names that came up as suspect. But when they went to the woman's house to conduct a search, they realized that they didn't find anything. And so the woman is currently at home. And so there is no report of a woman involved in this. But what we do know is that the two nurses who were arrested yesterday were on duty as at the time the incident happened. And that was why the police commander told us just a while ago that these people, they are giving some information to them that they believe that it doesn't add up, because one, they were blaming each other, according to the police commander. One was saying that I left the baby with this one to go and run photocopy outside. Then the other also said that I also left the baby and went to feed my own child. And so these were the reports they gave to the police. And this morning, the police have since dispatched the suspects to Tamale to be able to attend the second court this morning. And so that is the update regarding this. But like I said, I have a family member here. He will also bring us to speed as to how the incident actually happened and how they feel about this whole issue. Yesterday, report indicates that your wife or your brother's wife delivered at the Salaga hospital. Moments later, you were told that the baby was nowhere to be found. You made a report to the police. 2 suspects have since been arrested. How do you feel about this whole incident?
It was shock to all of us who heard the news as of yesterday, because I personally was not here. I was in the house when they called and told me the issue. So we rushed in, and consultation with my brother, he told us that the wife gave birth around 6 a.m. So he was sent around to buy some medicines for the child and the wife. So after the wife had delivered, so some hours later, I said, I want to see my child. And the nurses said that you cannot see. So he was accompanied with the mother, the child's father's mother. So the mother also said, I want to see my grandchild. The nurses said, so some hours later, they came and told her that the child is not well. So he asked them what happened. And they said, oh, she left the baby to go and feed her own child. And someone came and took the baby from. So that's what happened yesterday.
Now, 2 suspects have been arrested. As a family, how do you feel about what has happened so far, the police coming in and the arrest? What are you actually looking up for?
What you are looking out of is justice to me, because this is Ghana. We are all in Ghana, so you cannot just do anything and you can go to court. So as for yesterday, we came and reported it to the police. So the police will see everything in their hands. So that's why we are here this morning.
Has the hospital authorities, have they actually been talking to you, and what have they been telling you?
As of yesterday, we have not heard anything from the hospital. But what my brother told us yesterday was that when the incident happened, the doctors or the nurses advised him to come here and report. So he came and reported the as of yesterday.
How do you feel now?
Very pathetic.
Okay. So he says he feels very pathetic over this whole incident following the alleged theft case at the Salaga government hospital. And so as we speak, we can confirm that the baby has not been found. We can also confirm that the suspects who were arrested yesterday have since been dispatched to Tamale so that the prosecution will begin. We can also confirm that the members of the family have not yet been formally engaged by the Salaga government hospital authorities. These we can confirm here in Salaga following the alleged theft case at the Salaga government hospital.
Christopher, before you go, if you can confirm for us, the baby, is he a boy or a girl? Where is the mother currently? How is she doing?
Yeah, so the mother, after delivering the baby, according to the police commander, feels very weak. And so as we speak, the baby, the mother is at the hospital still receiving treatment. But as to the sex of the baby, is the baby a boy or a girl?
according to the mother, that the baby is a female.
So according to the mother, because the first person to see the child is the mother after the midwife delivered. So according to the mother from the family right now, it's a female. But as we speak, the mother cannot see or feel the baby again because the baby was stolen yesterday.
Perhaps two more questions from me. You've been to the government hospital, the Salaga government hospital, where this baby was stolen. Tell us the security situation there, what you saw, and looking at the assessment based on what you saw, how easy or difficult is it for anybody to come in and do such a thing? And the second bit also being the suspects who are being processed for court this morning. Do you know the preliminary charges?
Yes, the police commander is here. He has not actually. Okay, so conspiracy. He's just mentioned conspiracy and adoption. That is what he has just mentioned to me right now. But the issue of the security at the hospital, what we do know is that somewhere 2022, the hospital management installed CCTV cameras at the hospital. But we are told today that it is only at the OPD that is functional. The rest, they are not functional. Now, the second aspect has to do with when you are entering the hospital, there is a security post. What we do know is that when you enter the hospital with your motorbike or your bicycle, they direct you where to park it so that they don't see the usual hustle and bustle in the hospital because a lot of people enter the hospital. Now, one thing of notice is that because of the religious domination here, we are told that according to Islam, once you visit the sick at the hospital, you get some blessings or rewards from Allah. And so every morning, a lot of people, even if they don't have patients at the hospital, go there just to move around and greet the patients on admission in the name of getting some reward from Allah. And when this happens, the hospital management, they are inundated with the number of visitors who enter the hospital and go or visit the various wards to greet the sick. So even if there is tight security, because of this issue of, oh, we are just coming to greet this person, we are coming. So that has been the daily routine when you go there, apart from when the nurses and doctors are on ward rounds. When you go there, you see a lot of people at the hospital. Most of them do not even have patients on admission. They just go there in the name of going to greet and tap into Allah's blessing. So the security is something that is not too tight, but you go there, you see people around, and you cannot even tell who is a family person or a patient relative and who is not.
Well, Chris, this is Bella. I just want to find out, what is the current situation of the mother? Have you been able to, see her is she still at the hospital, first of all? And what's her situation? How is she feeling about the loss of her child?
Bella, the mother has not spoken to us yet because of the condition. Now, let me also add that it is very difficult to access the mother right now because knowing that we are media persons, it is very difficult to even have access to the wards unless we get authorization from the hospital management. So since yesterday night till now, we've not been able to contact the mother personally, but family members, we've been able to engage them. We've been able to have access to the police, to engage the police. And I must admit that the Salaga District Police Commander has been of help to us in getting most of the information we are giving out, because even yesterday night, he agreed to give us this information on Ghana Tonight. And so the collaboration from both the police, the family, we are getting information. What we are yet to get concrete information is about the hospital, because the management of the hospital, as of yesterday, were in Damango attending some meetings, and so those around could not talk to us. But we are hoping that they will be in today so that we'll be able to engage them to what they are also doing.
You've interacted with the family. Have you by any chance asked them if they know what the mental state, because they have seen the woman, I believe. Have you asked them what her mental state is like at the moment? And
here, I'll just bring him and
okay.
just. So you have been to the hospital. You have seen your wife because that is your brother's wife, as you indicated. How is she feeling? How will you describe her feeling right now?
We left there around 7 p.m. to go and sleep. So when we went there, the nurses at the ward there didn't allow us to enter there. So we were standing there, and so we couldn't get access to it. So after this morning, some went there. But for me personally, I didn't.
Christopher, hold on. So even her husband was not, if you can just check, because I didn't quite get that. Was her husband at least allowed to go in?
What he's saying is that even yesterday when they got to the hospital, they were not allowed to see the woman.
Not even her husband?
She has a caretaker, someone like the in-law who brought her to the hospital. She is with her, but other family members do not have access to her. I'm told that some of the family members have also followed the police to Tamale, which I'm sure the husband is part. This is the husband's brother. The husband himself is part of those that 3 of them followed the police to Tamale. And so right now, we don't actually know the state of the woman. But like I said, right after this report, we'll be able to get to the hospital to be able to find out the condition of the woman, how she feels about this whole incident, even her health and mental status as now.
All right. Thank you very much, Christopher, for speaking to us this morning. And we know you'll be on the beat to update us even more. And so we'll be on standby for that. But our heart goes out to the family and the woman especially. And we hope that the baby will be found as soon as possible. Now, this won't be the first time in this year alone that we've encountered, an attempted baby theft. In fact, it actually happened at the Mamprobi Municipal Hospital as well in February. And there was a woman who was dressed like a nurse, went in there, told the mother of the child that she needed to take the child to administer medication, carried the child, and for some reason wrapped the baby and walked out of the hospital. But of course, the CCTV cameras caught her, and her sister was the one that gave her away because she said she heard a baby cry in the woman's house and didn't understand where that was coming from. And so she alerted the authorities and they arrested the woman. We're told that the woman passed the baby on to another one who said that she gave birth in Kolibu when they found the baby with her. But when they went to check the records in Kolibu, there was nothing indicating that she was one of the new mothers who had delivered in the hospital. So this woman was arraigned before court. She's been granted bail, 200,000 Ghana cedis bail as at March. But the case is still in court and they're dealing with it. But the baby has been reunited with his mother. And the same question you asked about security in our hospitals, because how easy is it for you to just walk out with a baby that's not yours? Who is checking? There should be about 3 levels of checks before a baby leaves the hospital.
Especially when Christopher confirmed to us that the culture and the religious beliefs make them go to the hospitals just because they believe they will get blessings. So it means that there needs to be another layer of security at this place. But the Mamprobi one you referred to, I mean, it was heartwarming eventually to, I mean, things just happened very quickly and we're able to get that, I mean, the baby and the results of all of that. So really hoping that this child, today will be like a day old, right? This child will be found and will be found in good health and will be reunited with the mother, and hopefully the mother is also equally well. I can't imagine what she'll be going through.
And you see, the other leg of the conversation, has she been provided with some psychological support while she's going through this? Unfortunately, the family could not speak to her because they have not been able to see her. It's only her caretaker, and that caretaker has not been able to communicate with them, so we don't even know. But beyond that, is there psychological support for her? That's the other aspect of the conversation that we really need to be getting into, because this can affect her badly. Already, postpartum depression is on a different level.
She hasn't even
now you have to
started
deal with
exactly.
Yeah, but it can launch her into it almost immediately, because you have a baby and within hours your baby is stolen. So you don't get the chance to care for the baby. You can't hold the baby. Now you don't even know if the baby is safe, where the baby is, whether the baby will be found. It can just lead you into depression almost immediately. And so I do hope that the authorities there who are also helping her go through this while the police handles the matter. And we pray that she will be reunited with this baby.
And we had Chris
soon.
also tell us that the CCTV cameras, not all of them are working. Hopefully this incident wakes us all up to fix the technological issues as well, to deal with these issues promptly. But a number of you have already sent in your messages, and we'll try and read as many as possible. Kwamina Acidity Ahafo Atrensia says, good morning, Beatrice and Bella. The upcoming FIFA World Cup is going to be exciting for Ghanaians, and let's all come together and support Black Stars. Special greetings to Chairman Sadiq Kwamina Ahafo, Regional Minister. Aziz Donla says, the missing child in Salaga is unfortunate and must be treated as a matter of concern. I personally think our health facilities should be connected to CCTV cameras. Yes, this was connected. Not all the cameras were working, but he says that will help to ensure safety in our hospitals. Good morning to Professor Sharif Khalid. And perhaps this one from, I believe it's Sherry Giovanni, says, good morning to you. Good morning. He says, it's about time CCTV cameras were fixed at vantage points in our health facilities, and stringent measures were equally put in place to curtail these misconduct. Thank you so much for your messages. And yeah, keep sending them in, and we'll be able to read them back to you.
Imagine the pain the mother is going through, especially if this is her first child. Jamal Adam, indeed, and we hope that, you know, she will be reunited with this child, and we hope that we don't encounter this anymore.
Yeah,
it's really a very worrying situation. But keep your messages coming in, and of course we'll read them for you. Beatrice Dan Emba says he likes your jersey, and that your jersey is so nice. Dakoto Charles, or Datoko Charles, says these people are not serious. Cry. Francis Lom says, I'm watching live. Good morning. Good morning to you, Francis. We hope you're well. Also to Wisdom Denka, good morning as well. Can we move on to the next conversation, producers? Of course, we're looking at abandoned projects as well. Okay, well, we'll take a look at that when it's time for the big issue. Again, because we're talking about the Afari Military Hospital. And the health committee members from Parliament yesterday visited the hospital. Even though they didn't have clearance, they still visited the hospital. We saw an MP who was literally weeding with a cutlass yesterday.
Yeah, and that standoff between the minority, members led by Efri, I think he's a ranking member on the health committee, and the hospital authorities. Well,
so the MP was weeding. I'm wondering if he can,
so that's the free that we're showing.
I'm wondering if he can actually, so if they give him a contract that he should collect cutlass and weed the entire compound, will he be able to do it?
Well,
or that was just sketchy for the cameras? Because I'm trying to understand what that meant. What was he communicating with that? But anyway, let's go to the graphics. You will leave that for later. So let's take a look at abandoned projects in the country and what the current situation looks like. We'll start off with Agenda 111. As it stands now, we're told that $400 million has already been expended on these hospitals. Unfortunately, none of the hospitals is operational, as at the time it was, the previous government handed over to the current government. We heard from the former finance minister who indicated that they had completed and commissioned 3 of these hospitals, one in Ahanta West, the Ahanta West Municipal Hospital, one also, in 2 other places in the Ashanti region, but unfortunately, Trede is one of them. He says that it was completed, but for some reason, he doesn't understand why it wasn't operational. We're told at least one hospital cost about $16.88 million, $12 million for construction and $4 million for medical equipment. So if they've been completed, and it's one of the issues that the health committee yesterday touched on, the minority side of the health committee, because they don't understand why these hospitals are not operational, and they're asking the government works on them. Then the Suame interchange as well, started by the MPP. And you remember that this also caused the former majority leader in Parliament to be pelted with water when he went to his constituents at the time when he was the MP for the area, because they didn't understand why that Suame interchange in particular had not been completed. That scope, by the way, we're told, has been disputed by the current government. Poalugu Dam, another concerning one as well, $993 million contract. $12 million was released to the contractor. As it stands now, there's absolutely nothing done at the site. No construction at all. And then the KJTR market phase 2, stalled by debt crisis. We're told that the resumption has been promised, and we hope that it will be completed. Then Sewa Hospital, that also came up strongly just recently when the doctors at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital indicated that they were going on strike in support of their CEO, who had been asked to proceed on a 2-week leave for halting admissions at the accident unit. And so Sewa Hospital is one of the hospitals that, well, the NPP commissioned 3 days before they left office. It was commissioned by the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We're told, as it stands down, that even though it's been commissioned, they don't have access to water in that hospital. There's no access to electricity as well. The roads leading to the hospital are also pretty bad. And so the NDC now is asking questions that, how do you commission a hospital and indicate that it has to be operationalized when the main things that are needed to get it operational, including light and water, have not been sorted out? La General Hospital, it was pulled down some years ago because we were told that it had some structural deficiencies as well, and so they needed to avert any disaster at all. Pulled down, we kept getting updates as to when exactly it will be constructed, but nothing really happened until much later. 150 million Ghana cedis was allocated to it in 2024 to complete it. It's still far from done, but of course, it's being constructed at the moment, and construction actually started towards the latter part of the NPP's administration. Afari Military Hospital, which is what we've talked about this morning as well. In fact, the contract was signed in 2008, but it wasn't until 2014 that it was started because there were some variations in, the plots that needed to be used. It was supposed to be in Sofo line in the Ashanti region. Then they moved it to, Tamale. Then it came to the 37 Military Hospital. Then finally went to the Afari area where it was supposed to be started. Then it started. We're told there are some challenges as well, even with the contractors and money that needs to be paid to them. And so as it stands now, it's not being completed. They need about $19 million to be paid to the contractor so that the finishing touches can be put to it. Because as it stands now, we're told, we're getting varying completion stages, 90%, 95%, 97%. But the main point is there's money that's owed the contractor, about $18 to $19 million, that needs to be paid as soon as possible. Then the Weija Children's Hospital as well. You remember that the Weija MP, Honorable Ahmed Shaib, was there not too long ago. There as well, he was also wondering why the Weija Hospital had been completed and yet not operationalized. People within the community also cried foul. They didn't understand why that was not happening. But of course, government also indicated that they alleged that it was a contractor who was holding on to the keys because he said he was owed some money and that had not been paid. So it's complete, it's equipped, it's locked, it's not open. Maybe at the right time, we'll get to speak to the contractor if he's available so we can understand. Saglemi Housing, another very worrying one. Now we know it's in the hands of private developers. 5,000 units were promised, fewer than 1,500 were delivered. It was abandoned for 80 years. But of course, towards the end of the NPP administration, we were told that they were handing it over to some private contractors who would now complete it and hopefully they'll sell it at very low prices because it's supposed to be affordable housing. We hope that it will still be affordable housing when it is done. Then the Commander Sugar Factory. You think you've seen the worst of the worst until you see another one and you realize that we have a lot of work to do in this country. Commander Sugar Factory as well, inaugurated in 2016, still not fully operational in 2026. When the NPP came into power, they were wondering how, this was also not completed because they didn't understand how you can build the roof before you build, the foundation. There was a lot of talk around this as well. Eastern Corridor Road, initiated by the NDC, little progress so far, 8 years. Under the NPP, there was little progress. Now we're told that it's also being constructed. The NPP also had its reasons. And then Kumewu District Hospital. It was one of the main ones that we used to talk about when we're chatting about Fomena District Hospital and the likes. Well, Kumewu, we're told at this point, is 65% complete as of 2017. Unfortunately, not much has been done. So these are some abandoned projects that are being talked about seriously at this point, and we do hope that these projects will be completed. I remember that President John Dramani Mahama in September 2024, ahead of the elections, had promised that when he comes into power, if he should win the elections at the time, he was going to complete these projects. We hope that he will be able to complete these projects because they've been sitting for far too long. And I think that enough of the politics. Yes, he says, she says, this person was supposed to do it, this person was supposed to do it. As citizens, we need the completion so that we can benefit from all these structures and facilities. So we do hope that they can be completed. I mean, for example, Agenda 111, we're told that we shouldn't expect all of them to be completed.
Yes.
At least for this year, maybe some 5 or 10 of them may be completed. So let's see how that goes.
And you know, beyond the hope of completing all these projects, I'm also hoping really that the people responsible for these would face some, they should be asked some questions, because I believe that some of these projects that have been abandoned, they might spend extra money reviving them and ensuring that they are in good state even before they are operationalized. So people responsible should also be questioned as regards why we got to where we are. But pack up your day the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of peck milk shortcake. It is always a pure delight. But before we go on that break, just to remind you that we are streaming the World Cup. And so you can stay glued to your TV set all day, because TV3 will bring you everything you need to know about the FIFA World Cup. Just stay with us. When we come back, we have the big issue and some more.
Maintain their form and advance here in 2006.
There was a time when an ordinary afternoon became a national memory. Ghana at the World Cup for the first time.
Then came the night we stood one kick from eternity.
And he hits the bar!
And football reminded us how close glory can come before it disappears.
Then came the noise when the battle was not only on the pitch, and a nation asked itself.
In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This is a space for depth, where voices are heard and perspectives matter. Conversations with Dr. Abnanya Kwasmini, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Around us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now. In a world full of noise, clarity matters. Stories shape us, ideas challenge us. An honest dialogue moves us forward. This is a space for depth, where voices are heard and perspectives matter. Conversations with Dr. Abnanya Kwasmini, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Around us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate, security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all.
Which officially starts today. And so on TV3, we'll be showing 34 matches, including all African matches as well, all African games. And so look forward to that coverage right here. And we also will be coming your way with in-depth analysis from the sports team. Yesterday, they officially launched it. And so look forward to all those conversations before each game and after each game as well. So kudos to the sports team. It's looking good. We're looking forward to it. Speaking of which, so today the opening ceremony will start, and then right after that, Mexico will be playing against South Africa. For a lot of us on the African continent at this point, ideally we should be supporting South Africa, ideally. But just for shaggy reasons and for what they did to us, we are not supporting them. We're all Mexicans today. So I'll be introducing my guests to you. They have new names, new Mexican names today, and so we'll be introducing them. But of course, all the best to the Black Stars. Our first game will be next week. We're told on the 17th, and that's when we'll be playing Panama. Panama recently played a game and they lost, to the other team. In fact, it was a friendly. They were scored 5 goals. And so that means that we have hope, maybe. If we try small, we can beat them. Let's make it 6 goals for them. And then we'll play England as well as Croatia. Very difficult group, I must say, but fingers crossed, we'll get to the semi-finals. For sure. In Jesus' name. Amen. Good morning to you if you're also tuned in on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. I see a number of you. Good morning to Efo Yesuto, to Agongo Roger, and also to Lambert Neglo. And yes, and to Guy G. Guy G says that if we support Mexico, they'll say we're taking their jobs as well. I don't even know what's going to happen, but let's see how it goes. But if you're also tuned in, good morning to you. In the studios, my guests are seated. Right next to me, I have a private legal practitioner by the name Kwame Nkrumah Bochio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
Yes, and for today, you can call me Jose.
I was going to ask, what Mexican name do you want? So you're also supporting Mexico?
I didn't know we're allowed to wear jerseys. I would have worn my Mexico jersey too.
Hey, you have a Mexican jersey as well. I see. Okay, you wear Ghana first, or?
Well, I'll wear Ghana the day that Ghana plays.
But today because you're Mexican.
Yes.
So what was I called again? Paulo?
Jose.
Jose, okay. And then next to him, we have Emmanuel Senor Ameklenu. He's the MPP Communications, National Communications team member as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
At least you have the Ghana flag somewhere.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. What name? We'll call you.
Maybe you may probably want to give me a name, because for me, I'm not a fan of these Mexicans, their names. But today, even though I'm not a fan of their name, I would want to.
You also want to adopt a name.
Them, yeah.
And my producer says Senor Lorenzo. So that would be a name. You support South Africa?
What's South Africa? What are you saying?
Oh, I'm just asking.
No. I can't. And I'll never support South Africa unless they repent.
Oh.
Yeah, so today I'm going all out for the Mexicans, even though I'm not a fan of any of their names, but I'm going all out for them today, yeah.
Okay, I see. Also in the studio, Dr. Mohammed Sharif Abdul Khalik is a member of parliament for Nanton constituency. He's also a parliamentary select committee on health member as well. Good to have you in the studios. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And thank you for the opportunity. I find myself in a very difficult situation. The reason being that I had some of my training in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I have friends and people I call family in South Africa. So I'm wondering if I'm a Hernandez or I'm a Ramaphosa.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
We will see as the day goes by. Yes,
which side are you leaning more towards?
You see, because I'm Ghanaian and judging from what we
it wants to be a neutral.
Have been through, let me just still be in between a 50-50.
No, you cannot be neutral. If you cannot speak up against evil, they say you are as complicit.
No. Like.
So you have to decide now.
Honestly, my heart belongs to South Africa, but my mind belongs to Mexico.
Political answers.
I swear.
Very smart one, I must say. But also joining us via Zoom is Mr. Richard Kumado. He's a fraud prevention and security expert. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Bella.
Good to have you join us as well.
Thank you.
Do you also need help in getting a Mexican name, or you already have one?
No, I have one already. I'm Marquez.
Hey, okay. I see. How long have you had this name?
For like 2 weeks now.
2 weeks? Hey, so you made up your mind a long time ago that you were going to support Mexico against South Africa?
Definitely, yes.
I see. Interesting. But very quickly, let me find out from everyone. I mean, what do you think about the Black Stars? What are our chances? And if you have to predict how far we're going, Senor is laughing. What would you say?
You know, I when it comes to the Black Stars, I'm always very optimistic because I see football as anything can happen. You can train very hard. Something may happen that may destabilize you. But I think most of all, when the pressure is too much on the team, sometimes they end up messing up. Let's encourage. I wouldn't call them boys. I hear this oldest Black Stars team we've taken to the World Cup. That's what I read. So they are men. Let's encourage them to go out there, have fun, give off your best. Ideally, you should bring back the cup. But when it's at the back of their mind, it will affect, I think, to affect their performance. It's every team sport or team play is like that. Give off your best. And then hopefully they'll bring back the cup. But I think they'll go far.
So this is the oldest or the youngest?
I hear this. I read
this
that
is the youngest.
This is
yes.
rather the youngest.
I want to believe so.
Okay.
We'll leave that for the sports team to correct us.
If it's the youngest,
Yes.
then it's a plus, which means that you can even expect them to go further. Yes.
Okay. What about you, Senor?
Well, I don't know much. I don't have much to say about the Black Stars. All I want is a win.
Okay.
Yes. I'm the type who hates to sit by my telly watching the football match, and then after the first goal, the next thing you see is that there's an equalization. It demoralizes me all the time. So this time around, I've told myself that I'll make sure I eat my work plan about Bitadi so that I don't get demoralized after watching the match and not eat my work plan. But unfortunately, I'm told this our next match is going to be at dawn.
Yes.
So I think that will help me a bit. If it were to be our brothers from the other side who are fasting, I would have, probably cried for them. So I am hoping that they go beyond the group stage because I've seen a lot of predictions. People feel that there are some people who feel that they can't go beyond the group stage. It's going to be a tough game. Let's not joke with it at all. It's going to be a tough game. Yeah, the first match will be maybe a cool one for them. But the other two teams, let's not underestimate them.
But people have seen the English team and they don't think they are...
And you see, one other thing I've noticed is that we don't have more of the homegrown players as we were promised way back. I was expecting to see more homegrown players, but it looks like our football has become more or less like the usual politics in our country over here. So all I can say, we wish them the best. God should grant them that energy to be able to, put Ghana on the pedestal for everybody to see that indeed the kind of people who are thinking that Ghana will not go beyond the group stage, they'll be put to shame. Because if that is not done, then Honorable Kofi Adam and his team, they should be ready to answer questions. But let me also say that in this football match they are going to play, we hope that nobody will buy coconut for $100 or $15. Thank you.
It's okay. Let's move on. Doc, what about you? Chances of the Black Stars, how far do you think they'll go?
I think that we've come far as a country with respect to sports, especially football. Football is that game that unites our nation. This nation is very polarized, especially when it comes to the political space. But one of the things that we all look forward to that you would find an NPP, NDC, an Ewe, a Dagomba, a Hausa person all seated in one and cheering on one team is when we have football, especially when we have the Black Stars playing. So that's the reason why for me I always say, look, we say it's expensive, but for the love and then the unity that it brings to our nation, it is worth investing into. And over the years, like he's saying, we've tried through our local leagues to see how best we can make these young fellows that play soccer from our local leagues graduate into the Black Stars. But it's been very difficult. We wish the Black Stars well. You know, something happened in 2010. And, well, I want to remind you, in 2010, Professor Ivan Satamels was president. And we made it almost to the semi-finals in South Africa. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was vice president at that time. Now he's president. So we know that definitely we are going to make it off from the quarterfinals through the semi-finals and then bring the cup home.
We'll bring the cup home.
That is the difference we are making. Look, in the last...
You said we'll bring the cup home.
Yes, we can. Why can't we?
Is it we can or we will?
No. You see, football is a game. And in football, you are either winning, you are losing, or you are drawing. This team has gone through a lot. We've had to change our coach along the way. We put together a team. For me, the team is Black Stars. The team is Team Ghana. And Team Ghana is not going to add up to just the numbers. Team Ghana is going to annex the cup and bring it home. But what I'm saying is that there has been a precedence. When a certain righteous people are leading, a lot of good things happen to the nation.
Hey, we're getting very biblical at this point. So who are the righteous people?
Well,
okay, we'll leave that for you to judge. Let's go to Dr. Richard Kumado as well. Mr. Richard Kumado, just quickly, what are your predictions as well? How far is the Black Stars going?
Now, I watched them play at Cardiff, and I was hopeful. Basically, what we have to do is to win our first game. At the World Cup, which is the biggest stage, you need to win your first game. And once we win our first game, playing against England wouldn't be a much problem for us at all. So win your first game, play your hearts out against England, and settle it down with Croatia, and we'll be out of the group to the next stage.
So how far do you think we'll go? Quarterfinals, semi-finals, knockout stage? Which one?
It depends on the permutations of what happened with the other teams. This is a World Cup. Everybody wants to play their best players and play their hearts out. But it is also football as well. Your best players may get injured. Referee will not come to your aid. Many things can happen. But this is the Black Stars we are talking about. And with the past experience they have, I want to believe that we'll get to the quarterfinals this time around.
Okay, well, let's pray that we do. Richard Nketia says Ghana would actually win. Let's hope so. Also, we have Patrick Sherma, and Patrick says that 7 points is rest assured for the Ghana Black Stars. Agongo says if they win, we'll be happy, but if they don't, we'll put our hands on our heads and cry. Okay, well, let's see how that goes. But let's get into our main conversation for today. And yesterday, we saw the minority side of Parliament on the Health Committee visit the Afari Military Hospital. And I mean, their visit was very simple, to also take an assessment of the place and wonder why the place has still been abandoned over the years, and admonish the current government to complete the hospital and operationalize it. Basically, that was all they were asking for. They were led by the ranking member on the Health Committee in Parliament, Dr. Ayu Efriye. And we had a number of other MPs also join him to take a look at the place. We had the Health Committee chair speaking on it much later, but of course, Dr. Ayu Efriye was there as well. Mr. Boachi Yadom, who is the MP for Obuasi East, he's also the deputy ranking member on the Health Committee. Let's take a look at how it happened yesterday, because there was some confrontation with the military.
This year about MC Sebi. Yes. The MC has come to threaten her.
So who gave you the authority to enter?
But at the end of the day, I'm working for you.
You're not working for anybody.
You're not working for anybody. The MPs here, we are not working for anybody.
You ask permission for anybody.
When NDC was coming and they go to sites, do they ask permission? Did you see us coming there? We are doing it for Ghana, not us. Officer.
Why is he doing this?
Yeah, for you.
No, so when I go back, you never play.
When there's an emergency, do you ask permission?
No,
when there's an emergency, when there's an emergency, when there's an emergency,
no.
when there's an emergency, do you ask for permission? Members of parliament should ask permission from who? Do you have a minister?
No.
Don't ask me that. I want to see you yes, I deal with.
Yes. So who is that winning round? You winning round. So why do you ask me?
We came here. Yeah, but has 24. We came here. Yeah, but has
So that is Dr. Ayu Efrie. He's a ranking member on the Health Committee. And of course, that altercation was between himself and members of the Health Committee from the minority side who visited the Afari Military Hospital and the military. Now, the military said they didn't have military clearance to visit the site. And that's all they needed, because if they had that, then there won't be this altercation. And so they got in there before the military even approached them much later when they heard that they were there, and inquired why they had come there without that clearance. And so that's what resulted in this altercation. But Dr. Ayuefrie has been speaking on this matter, and he says that there's no point why this hospital should be sitting and rotting at this point. He expects that it would be operationalized, especially on the back of the fact that the president had promised that he was going to complete all abandoned projects when he comes into power. This government has been in power for about 17 to 18 months. And so they're wondering why they've not focused especially on the Afari Military Hospital, for example. Especially after this week, we saw a strike from the doctors at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. And that was in solidarity with the CEO, who had given a direction to halt any admissions as the emergency unit at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital because they were overwhelmed. There was no space for any more admissions. They have only 37 beds at the emergency unit, but as at the time when that directive was given, they had 61 patients. And so for him, at that point, they could not take any more people. And that has generated this whole conversation about abandoned hospitals across the country, from the Afari Military to Sewa Hospital, and a number of them. And so that's the conversation that we're going to be having today. And maybe I'll come to you first, Mr. Kumado, because yesterday you posted something about not getting involved with the military in a way that could cause them to react, because we all know how the military is trained. And so this probably could have escalated into something else. But for you personally, as a security expert as well, what should have been the right process in getting clearance before the health committee members visit the site?
If the president of the Republic of Ghana intends to visit Afari Military Hospital, he would have notified the regional minister, and the regional head directorate would have been notified. Subsequently, the military will be notified, the police will be notified, and the BNI will be notified. It makes life easier. The reasonable course of action from individuals and groups who decide to visit this particular hospital could have written a simple letter asking permission from the regional minister, who is the head of RISEC. And it would have trickled down to the health directorate, to the mayor of Kumasi, then to the military, to the police, to the BNI. Once the content of the letter is discussed and they have been given clearance, they would have notified the officers on the ground that on this day, so and so wanted to visit this place and they have clearance. This is a military hospital, and this is a sensitive zone. This is a security zone. You would need clearance, you would need authority, and you would need some level of guidance. And I wonder why our parliamentarians didn't do this, knowing that they had this same setback in the year 2021. It looks to me that they are overlooking many of the cardinal things they should have done as lawmakers. And they went there to have an authentication with the military, which I think we are not doing well when it comes to that area. If something untoward would have happened, it would go against the civilians who follow them to the place, and that wouldn't order well for us as a nation.
So would you describe the way the military handled the situation as right or wrong?
No, the military were doing their job. These are professionals on the side. They would have decided to escalate it more than that. Bella, if something has happened and the military hierarchy asked the young men they placed there to protect national assets and to ensure that national security priority is achieved, that why did A and B happen when there was no authorization? That would have created some level of difficulties for them. And I think we should stop this whole patapa politics where we engage law enforcement officers in a manner that is not appropriate. We might be stretching and overreacting and overstretching these policies that has become unproductive in our country. Let the right things be done, and lawmakers must behave themselves properly, and they must not be taking the law into their own hands. I think that is unfortunate. It wasn't a reasonable thing to do, and it wasn't necessary at all. Considering the fact that you are having the same reaction and the same outcome from 2001 to today, they haven't learned any lesson, and probably public education in the House of Parliament would have been appropriate for them.
All right, let me come to you, Senor, because I need to understand how you feel about this. And of course, having the minority visit the site, clearly they are lawmakers, so they should know the right processes involved in visiting a site like this that's on military land. Why did they go without the clearance?
Well, thank you very much. Good morning to you, and then good morning to my senior brothers, and a very good morning to your cherished viewers. I bring you greetings from His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, who has remained a very well-experienced person. And if you see him, you come in terms with me that indeed he is the man who has the solution. He is the man who has the bold initiative to solve the numerous challenges that are confronting us as a country today. This morning, he has asked me to communicate to you and my senior brothers and to our cherished viewers that last few days, he has received a report from a committee that he sanctioned regarding the numerous challenges confronting the cocoa sector. And in the coming days, he will be presenting the alternative solution to that cocoa sector. So he has asked me to tell our mothers, our brothers and sisters, our fathers who are within the sector that they should not worry. At the right time, he would come up with an alternative policy that will help them. Okay. Now, you asked on the issue of what happened in Afariwa yesterday. Mm-hmm. But before that, let me read a quote to you. One thing I want us to understand is that good health is more important when it comes to issues of our daily life. And I say this by stating that without good health, there is no way you can have anything that you wish for in life. So it is only important that you have good health in order to proceed with whatever you want. I think my machine is frozen, so I'm not getting what I want to actually read out to you. So I just want to say that good health is very important. Without good health, you cannot proceed on anything. Now, on that basis, I want to say that whatever that happened yesterday, for me, I don't see anything wrong with it.
You don't see anything wrong with it?
Not at all.
Even though we have a security expert who's saying that for lawmakers, they should have known exactly what to do. You don't just go to a military zone without clearance?
I am pretty sure that they have probably engaged people before entering the place. And I'm going to tell you something. You see, we have become very hypocritical in this country. Everybody is playing political football. We see the right thing and we try to twist it in a way that will suit us. This is not the first time this thing is happening. What you are seeing, what you saw on the telly or what happened yesterday, it's not the first time. I've always said that precedence paves the way for us. Who actually started this whole thing? It has happened before. The current health minister, Honorable Kwabena Mintah Kando, he is one man who is known to carry bloggers as if he's going for a production team, moving from one health facility to the other, showcasing things. So I am not surprised what happened yesterday. It is not the first time. He has been to the same place before. And of course, he faced the same challenge. So for me, the question we should be asking is that, did Honorable Minta Akado, did he ask permission when he went there?
So if someone did something and it was wrong, are you saying that because that person did it,
it is
you
not
also
about,
should do the same thing?
It is not about somebody going there and observing that the thing is wrong. If I watched his video, he indicated, when the people confronted him, he said, oh, I spoke to the people at the entrance before coming. Because he passed the entrance, then a young man in a black t-shirt confronted him. Then he asked, whose permission, upon whose authority are you here? And I said, I have spoken to your people. If you watch Honorable Afriye, they have already entered the premises. So what it means is that they have sought permission from the entrance. The gatekeeper has permitted them to enter the place.
The same one who was wailing bitterly because she said her job is on the line for allowing them into the facility?
She has allowed them. And somebody who feels that the facility is her personal property or his personal property comes to threaten her. She is crying not because she allowed the people. She is crying because of the threat. Let's not even look at that side. The bone of contention here, the valid point here is that, is it necessary at this time for us to operationalize the Afari military hospital? Why is it still the way it is today? If you follow the genesis of this hospital, it didn't start just yesterday. The whole project was initiated by our former president, Mr. John Ajekum Kufuor. Then, when the NDC took over in 2009, they started the project somewhere 2014. So they wasted some time at the time when the project, all paperwork, everything has already been sorted, probably when they came, they should have. So they waited for 2015, maybe they are also doing some auditing and all of that, and started the project somewhere 2014.
Because they were also looking for a different location at the time as well. It kept moving to about 3 sites.
So the question we should ask ourselves is, 2014, you started the project. You could not complete the project in 2014. Within 2 years, you were booted out. The MPP came to power. The MPP did not sleep over it. Beyond that, the Euro projects, even in the Ashanti region, that were left by Ekufuor, when we came, or when they came to power at the time, they did not complete those projects. We came to complete those projects. So it is only important or valid that we consider the issues of health. So when we came, we sought to aid that we added the Afari military hospital to projects that were within the health sector to complete, because it was a legacy project that they needed to attend to. We've done that. It was 98% to 99% complete. Because if you look at the pictures or the videos or the pictorial things very well that were shown to us yesterday, you come in terms with it that the hospital has only 2% to be completed with little fixtures and fittings.
You all seem to be giving it varying figures, because Dr. Nsi Ansari yesterday also spoke. I mean, not too far. He said it was 97% complete.
But if you look at approximately, in terms of the numbers, statistically, I think that it is not varied from.
So it wasn't fully completed.
It wasn't fully completed. Give or take, I agree that let me even go by your statistics in terms of the 97, which is not far from even the 98 I mentioned. If you even consider that, the 3% that is left is insignificant.
You had 8 years. Why didn't you complete it?
Don't forget that it is not only the Afari military hospital that we're attending to. We're attending to the Sewa hospital, because the focus now is in the Ashanti region. We're attending to the Trede hospital. So we were making sure that at least we come along to sort everything out to make sure. Of course, Ghanaians said that your governance was no good when they left us. Priority should tell you that the first thing that you should consider should be the health condition of the people.
Was it priority to your government?
Of course, it was
complete
priority.
These abandoned projects. And I'll ask you that because we're told that as at the time when you were going out of power, there was also some $90 million that needed to be paid to the contractors to complete Afari Military Hospital. Now, your government launched Agenda 111. Each hospital, we're told, was going to cost about $16.88 million for each unit. So if that's the case, did we not think that it was necessary, if we had all these outstanding, abundant projects there, to invest that money? Because if we needed only 19 million, we're told that you completed about 3 of these Agenda 111 hospitals. So if one is even 16.88, let's say that roughly about $50 million was spent in building new hospitals. Could we not have redirected that money to complete Sewa, to complete Afari, and all these other outstanding hospitals before even building completely new ones? Don't you think that in terms of priority, that is what your government at that time should have done?
So at the time all these hospitals were, all these hospitals started, the focus or the attention at the time, or what even triggered, was as a result of the COVID. Now, whilst we were focusing on putting up district hospital, already this hospital has already started, Afari Military Hospital has started years back. So you cannot at that point say that you are going to put up a new hospital within that area. The best option to do is to continue and complete that project. So it was factored as part of the Agenda 111 project.
Afari Military Hospital?
Yes.
You factored that as part of Agenda 111?
No, I mean...
I don't think so. It wasn't part of it.
I mean, in terms of completion, not as a part of the Agenda 111, but whilst the process was continuing, they were also focusing on that one as well. So you realize that Agenda 111 projects were continuing, but the Afari Military Hospital also needs to progress at the time. So it was different hospitals which were not part of.
But why start 111 hospitals from scratch when we have all these hospitals
what is wrong with that?
You're asking what is wrong with that. We don't have that much money as a country. And so the little that we have, which is what I'm asking you, now that's 16.88 million, roughly 17 million. If we had injected that into Afari, for example, don't you think that we wouldn't be sitting here talking about the operationalization, because your government would have operationalized it at that time when $19 million was needed to complete it?
But if for nothing at all, I believe that the government at the time prioritized the Afari Military Hospital exclusively from even the Agenda 111 project. Beyond that, don't also forget that the VAMED hospitals that was started by the MPP administration from scratch also got completed. Put aside the 5 that were completed. I don't see anything wrong with the fact that we could have, we are factoring the Afari Military Hospital as part of the Agenda 111 instead of just the taking the monies that we are using to do the Agenda 111 and focusing it on the Afari Military Hospital. I don't see anything wrong with that. All we wanted at the time was to see to it that the districts that are identified as areas that do not have hospitals, they get hospitals. Of course, you may be right, but at the time we saw it as a priority to again move some funds and ensure that we see to the completion of that project. But whilst that is being completed, we focus also on other areas that do not have health facilities, because the COVID actually exposed us.
Which is why we should have completed these hospitals. Final question before you go. So if that's the case, don't you think that for the minority in Parliament on the Health Committee that visited this site, do you think they're being hypocritical, like people are saying, because they are putting pressure on the NDC government that has just come to power for less than, 2 years to complete a project that your government had 8 years to complete and didn't do it?
I don't see any hypocrisy over here.
Okay.
What I see from the government and the minority and those doing the PR for why the minority should visit that place, I see more or less a political theatrics. Okay. The reason being that if you listen to the president, in his attempt to come to power, he made a categorical statement that Agenda 111 project was an ambitious project. Do you recall that? That was what he said.
Who made that statement?
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
He said it was an ambitious project?
It was an over-ambitious...
He did it? He said that?
He said that,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He said it was an over-ambitious project to go on. But today, if you are telling us that Agenda 111 was an over-ambitious project, then the same vein, you are going on to build what? 24-hour market for how many districts? Is that not overambitious? Now, are you telling us that if we don't have good health, if you and I, we are not having good health, who will sit in the market? Is it ghosts that will be sitting in the market to work? So the first priority that should have been considered by this government should have been the health facilities and not agenda 24-hour economy market. Because if you even assess the 24-hour economy market that they claim is a mantra that they are running their mouth with. In my region, in the Volta region, I am of the view that we don't need 24-hour economy markets in every district. Because feasibility studies should tell you that there are some areas that even by 8 p.m., they go to bed. In my constituency, I fall in between two constituencies, Keta and Angloga. When you come to Angloga market, latest by 7 o'clock, the rats and the rest, they've taken over the markets. You go to the Keta market, when it is the same time, 7 p.m., you will not see anybody in the market. Now, these are not busy towns. So, strategically, and somebody who is a good strategist, we could have probably coined the 24-hour market strategically in the region in 3 zones. Aflau area, whole area, and then a part of the, how do you call it? The Sogakope enclave there. So for me, if you look at the whole thing that is being said, you come in terms with it that this whole thing that was done and the NDC is crying foul and saying all manner of things. They are just being hypocritical.
They are rather being hypocritical.
They are being hypocritical.
Okay, let me bring
their own minister is the one who set the pace.
All right.
He is actually leading. He led them, and today, Honorable Free is reminding him that the kind of things you did when you also visited the same place. You know, he also visited La General Hospital sometime.
You learned for me.
So
I mean, if you want to bring in La General Hospital, I don't even know how Ghanaians will react to that, because that's another conversation altogether and get the people in line. But let me bring, you've spoken for a while. Let me bring Dr. Abdul inside.
Please, respectfully.
Time is gone. I'll give you the chance. If you do that, you won't give them a fair time.
Respectfully, please. I'm just landing one. I rope in the La Hospital just for you to understand the fact that if you watch Honorable Mintan Kando very well in opposition, he's the type who always move with cameramen, bloggers.
What's wrong with that?
So what is wrong with what Honorable
You didn't have clearance.
Did he have clearance?
You didn't have clearance. So you were in power 8 years. You didn't complete it. All of a sudden, you think you need. Let me bring Doc in.
So did he also have clearance at the time?
He didn't. That's what I'm asking. That. So do 2 wrongs make a right? Do 2 wrongs make a right? Dr. Abdul, let me bring you in.
You see, thank you very much, Bella, and I want to say a very good morning to our viewers, especially to those coming from my constituency, that's Nantong, and then. I would also want to say a very big thank you to all health workers of Ghana, the nurses, the doctors, the laboratory physicians, the administrators, etc., that put in a lot of effort to ensure that every Ghanaian has good quality health care. Health is wealth, but you see, I see how Senor has struggled. This is not the usual Senor, you know. You know, when facts are facts, the truth is the truth. Look, the members of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health that went to the health facility yesterday, they knew very well, this is common knowledge, that you cannot barge into a security facility just by going to knock on the door and then the caretaker opens it for you to walk in. Look, these are members of parliament that make laws. So they should be the ones abiding by the laws. And somebody is going to take my mind back to what happened in 2021. Yes.
You also did same.
We did same. But are we going to be staying where we are? Are we not upping our game? The ordinary Ghanaian looks up to us as politicians to make sure that we up our game, that what was done yesterday that was wrong should not be repeated today. Look, the Honourable Minister of Health doesn't move around with bloggers or anything of that sort that he's trying to say. Oh, so the ranking member was moving around with bloggers. That's what he did yesterday. Dr. Afriye and the team. They were moving around with bloggers. They were moving around with people that didn't matter. Look, did you watch it? The military man was telling him, do you have permission to be here? This is a security zone. You need permission. Get the permission and have access. But you know what, Bella? I am happy they gave them access so that the whole of Ghana would see the kind of havoc Senor and his government caused to Ghana. I mean, if they didn't open this, we would not know that this project, which was signed somewhere around 2008, went through until 2014 when it was started. When it started, somewhere in July, the sword was cut. In October, parliamentary approval, then we had funds for it. And then moving downwards, you know what happened? Between 2016 and 2017, this company that was awarded a contract could not get tax exemptions to bring in the equipment that they needed to continue with the building of the facility. Who was in government at that time? Who was the president at that time? Which party was in government at that time? It ran through. Look, again, is that the only way to get answers to solutions as a select committee? That same members of the Select Committee on Health could have filed an urgent question in Parliament so that they get answers, like what was done somewhere in 2019 when Honorable Dominic Nitiwo was the defense minister. An urgent question was filed by the then MP of the place. And then he came to say that the project was 75% complete. After that statement, and then the contractors moved on. No contractor has gone to site. So how did that 75 move to 95%?
From the time that
Dr. Yes,
because he promised that year that it was going to be completed
that
by
same,
the end of the year.
But no contractor moved to site. So how did it move from 75% to 95%?
What was the reason why no contractor moved to site after he addressed Parliament?
They said there were contractual issues. And also, we would usually have a main contractor and then subcontractors. So 2 subcontractors had issues that even had some legal issues. This was not the NDC government that was in power. You had 8 good years. You the one that thinks that health is wealth. You the one that thinks that the people of Ghana need quality health care. You had 8 good years. 8 years. 8 times 12 is what? 8 good years, Senor. 8 good years at your disposal to ensure that, let's use your 95%. 8 good years to ensure that you added just 5% to make it functional. But you see, Bella, I don't think we would need to waste too much time talking about what the NPP should have done. What the ordinary Ghanaian is looking at right now is that when they have emergencies, we should have hospital beds, we should have doctors, we should have nurses that will take care of them. We have moved on from that propaganda. You see, you have to, look, if really this hospital in Ashanti region that gives NPP the bulk of its votes was really that important, do you think they would have left it? Agenda 111, you asked a very valid question. 111 hospitals started at a time that Afari was for them 95% completed, and they didn't think that it was wise to complete it. Now we have 111 hospitals sitting on us without any source of funding to complete them, adding to the Afari already. This is them. These are the people that say they love Ghana. These are the people that are saying that we should have completed it. And look, was there not money? We had money. Was there no money in this Ghana?